whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight, o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave over the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Thank you.
To the proposition that all men are created equal. Now we are engaged in a great civil war, testing whether that nation or any nation so conceived and so dedicated can long endure. We are met on a great battlefield of that war. We have come to dedicate a portion of that field as a final resting place for those who here gave their lives that that nation might live. It is altogether fitting and proper that we should do this. But in a larger sense, we cannot dedicate, we cannot consecrate, we cannot hallow this ground. The brave men, living and dead, who struggled here, have consecrated it, far above our poor power to add or detract. The world will little note, nor long remember what we say here, but it can never forget what they did here. It is for us, the living rather, to be dedicated here to the unfinished work which they who fought here have thus far so nobly advanced. It is for us to be here, dedicated to the great task remaining before us, that from these honored dead we take increased devotion to that cause for which they gave the last full measure of devotion, that we here highly resolve that these dead shall not have died in vain, that this nation, under God, shall have a new birth of freedom, and that government of the people, by the people, for the people, shall not perish from the earth. Thank you.
The Civil War. But in the years that followed, all Americans began to observe the day and were brought together again in their shared desire to honor the heroes who had died in service to our country. Organizations like the Fort Rosecrans Memorial Day Committee are a very proud part of that tradition. Every year since 1900, this extraordinary organization has hosted this event and ensured that we pause to remember, reflect, and respect those who gave their lives to ensure freedom for future generations. Today, as I stand here before thousands of soldiers, sailors, airmen, and Marines, and Coast Guardsmen, and their loved ones who chose to serve their country, I know it wasn't the steel ships and the stealth aircraft that secured victory in that war 75 years ago. It was our people, our brave men and women who fought the ships and flew the aircraft, who provided medical assistance in the heat of battle, and who taught young Americans what it means to serve, what it means to be selfless, and what it means to put country and freedom first. As the commander of 3rd Fleet, located right down the street, I know this is still true today. Our nation's military, past, present, and future, would not be able to meet the demands of today's complex military missions if we didn't have incredibly talented, dedicated, and smart young men and women volunteering to serve. We're blessed to have brave men and women willing to go in harm's way to keep our country safe and free. Like we are doing here today, we need to ensure they know that their service is appreciated, and will never be forgotten. I'm proud to be here with you to remember our nation's fallen warriors. Perhaps the greatest way to honor those we have lost is to help take care of those who survived and those who still serve. The community here in San Diego is a special one, with a deep welcoming connection to its military, evidenced by your attendance here today. I want to thank each and every one of you for everything you do to honor our nation's heroes. This event is an extraordinary tribute, and I couldn't be prouder to be a part of it. May God bless each of our brothers and sisters in arms who made the ultimate sacrifice to keep America free. May God bless each of you who make this important day possible. And may God bless this great country that we are all so proud to serve. Thank you.
Thank you, Admiral Tyson.
Comrades, every Marine's first leader, his or her drill instructor. Semper Fidelis and Ura, and salute. Ready, go.
Next, we have the VFW Auxiliary, District 1 Commander Mike Phillips, District President Onita Billings. Knights of Columbus, Assembly 2449, Our Lady of Guadalupe, Edward Padillo, Gary Glenn, and Luigi Zelman. VFW Post 1512 and Auxiliary, Commander J.J. Fordas and Auxiliary President Rita Butler. Vietnamese community of San Diego, Mr. Lưu Nguyen, President.
night with a light from above, from the mountains to the prairies to the ocean.